Did you know that decluttering your life can actually add years to it? Imagine feeling lighter, happier, and healthier simply by letting go of the things that no longer serve you. What if those items you have been holding on to for years, items you rarely or never use, might finally be ready to say goodbye? In this video, we are diving into the top 10 things that seniors should consider decluttering right now in order to live longer and feel better. From hidden health hazards to emotional baggage, these practical tips will completely transform your life. Stay with us, because by the end of this presentation, you will discover the surprising benefits of adopting a simpler, more joyful lifestyle, starting today. Meet Betty, a 72-year-old grandmother with a passion for baking, family gatherings, and tending to her beloved garden. For many years, Betty's home was filled with memories, old photo albums, unused gadgets, stacks of books, and sentimental knickknacks. However, after a recent health scare, everything changed for her. During a routine checkup, her doctor revealed something unexpected. The clutter that had accumulated in her life might actually be affecting both her mental and physical health. At first, Betty was skeptical. How could her cherished trinkets and piles of old paper possibly be linked to the stress and fatigue she was experiencing? Yet, as she began to reflect on her surroundings and daily routine, she noticed a clear pattern. The more cluttered her home became, the more overwhelmed and burdened she felt. It wasn't simply a matter of physical disarray. It was the emotional weight of holding on to items she no longer needed that was taking its toll. Encouraged by her doctor's advice, Betty decided it was time to take action. She began the process of decluttering gradually, starting with one drawer, then one shelf, and eventually one entire room at a time. With determination, she let go of items that had not been used for years, passed on sentimental keepsakes to her grandchildren, and donated many things to those in need. At first, the process was tough. Every item she touched seemed to bring back memories and a pang of nostalgia. But with each bag filled and each box cleared, she felt herself growing a little lighter. By the time Betty had finished decluttering her home, she was not merely living in a cleaner, more organized space. She was living with a renewed sense of purpose. Her energy levels improved, her stress diminished, and she rediscovered pleasures in life that she had not experienced in years. Betty came to realize that letting go of clutter wasn't about losing cherished memories. Rather, it was about creating space for what truly mattered: her health, her family, and her happiness. Betty's story is a powerful reminder that it is never too late to simplify and transform your life. If you are ready to take that first step, join us as we explore the top 10 things you should declutter for a healthier, happier you. And if Betty's story resonates with you in any way, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more life-changing advice tailored especially for seniors. We are here to help you live your best life after 60, one small change at a time. Are you ready to start your decluttering journey? Let's dive in. As we grow older, it is natural to hold on to things. Whether it is an old sweater, a stack of magazines, or a drawer full of outdated gadgets. We often tell ourselves, "I might need this someday," or "this item holds too many memories to let go." But have you ever paused to consider how these items might be affecting your overall well-being? The truth is, holding on to clutter does not only take up precious space in your home, it also weighs heavily on your mind and body. Every time you navigate around extra furniture or open a cabinet overflowing with items, you invite unnecessary stress into your life. That just-in-case mentality might actually be preventing you from living as freely and comfortably as you could. Decluttering, on the other hand, offers benefits that extend far beyond simply having a tidy home. Imagine having more space to move around without worrying about tripping or falling. Picture a home that feels lighter, calmer, and more welcoming. By reducing the daily stress that comes from navigating through a chaotic environment, you gain a sense of control and accomplishment. Moreover, clearing your environment can enhance your mental clarity. Studies have shown that an organized space leads to a more organized mind, allowing you to concentrate on the things that truly matter. And let's not overlook the safety aspect. A clutter-free home minimizes hazards, making it a safer haven in which you can enjoy every moment with peace of mind. The best part about decluttering is that it does not have to be an overwhelming task. You do not need to clear everything out all at once. Start small. Perhaps begin with that one drawer you have been avoiding, or tackle the pile of old newspapers on your kitchen counter. As you gradually let go of what you no longer need, you will begin to notice a positive shift not only in your home, but in your overall mood and outlook on life. So, what is the first item you would remove? Could it be an old pair of shoes that you haven't worn in years, or perhaps a set of dishes that have not been used since the holidays? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. By sharing your decluttering journey, you will not only inspire others to begin their own process of letting go, but you will also remind yourself of the incredible transformation that comes with making space for new opportunities. Number 10 on our list is old medical supplies and equipment. As we age, it is common to hold on to medical supplies and equipment just in case. However, keeping outdated or expired items can be more harmful than beneficial. Expired medications, old bandages, or broken medical devices do not simply take up space, they can create serious health risks. Imagine reaching for a medication you have not used in months, only to discover that it is expired. Or worse, inadvertently taking something that could negatively impact your health. It is a wise idea to conduct a quick inventory of your medicine cabinet, first aid kit, and any other medical equipment you have accumulated over the years. Discard anything that is expired, broken, or no longer useful. If you have prescription medications that you no longer require, do not simply throw them away. Instead, check with your local pharmacy or a designated disposal program to ensure that they are discarded safely. Have you looked in your medicine cabinet lately? You might be surprised at what you find. Let us know in the comments which items you have discovered that no longer belong. And remember that this small action can make a big difference in both your safety and peace of mind. Clearing out these hidden hazards from your life is a powerful way to remind yourself to prioritize your health and overall well-being. By letting go of unnecessary medical supplies, you open up space for the essential items that will better serve you in the future, free from outdated distractions. Next, we address the issue of paper clutter, which can be one of the most overwhelming types of clutter, especially for seniors who have spent years accumulating documents. From old bills and receipts to instruction manuals for appliances that have long been forgotten. These piles of paper often serve as constant reminders of unfinished tasks or obligations, generating a persistent background stress that feels almost inescapable. How often do you pass by a stack of papers and feel that heavy weight on your shoulders, thinking, I need to sort this out someday? Well, someday can start today. Holding on to unnecessary paperwork not only fills your physical space, but also fills your mind with endless worries and tasks that seem never-ending. When you look at those receipts, old bills, or manuals, it is easy to feel overwhelmed by everything that still needs your attention. But what if you could change that? Begin by sorting through your papers and separating the truly essential documents from those that are merely taking up space. Digitize important documents such as tax records, medical paperwork, or any files that you are legally required to keep. There are user-friendly apps and scanners that make this process quick and efficient. Once you have digitized these important documents, be sure to back up the files in a secure cloud storage service so that you can access them easily. Afterward, shred the rest. Those old receipts, outdated manuals, and past bills that you no longer need. Do you have a drawer or a file cabinet overflowing with paper clutter? What is the oldest item you have found among those piles? Share your discoveries in the comments. You might be amazed at how liberating it feels to finally let go of these persistent reminders of tasks left undone. By clearing out your paper clutter, you not only free up valuable physical space, but you also clear your mind, allowing room for more positive and productive thoughts. This small, manageable step can help you feel more organized and in control, bringing peace to both your surroundings and your mental state. Now, let us consider clothing, one of the most common types of items we hold on to, often for much longer than is truly necessary. Take Betty, for example. When she decided to declutter her home, she was shocked to discover that half of her closet was filled with clothes she had not worn in many years. These were items from decades past that either no longer fit her, were out of style, or simply did not suit her current tastes. Yet she found it hard to part with them because they carried sentimental value. For Betty, these clothes were more than mere fabric. They were tangible memories, reminders of a different time in her life. Holding on to garments from years gone by can feel like clinging to the past. Perhaps it is the jacket you wore on your first date or the dress you wore at your child's graduation. While such items are sentimental, keeping them indefinitely can weigh you down, occupying valuable space in your home and your mind. It is time to make room for the present so that you can focus on what fits your life today. Begin by going through your closet and asking yourself, when was the last time I wore this? If it has been over a year, or if the item no longer fits or flatters you, then it may be time to let it go. There is no need to keep clothes that no longer serve you. Consider donating or recycling them, thereby making room for pieces that make you feel confident and comfortable in the here and now. If the thought of parting with something deeply sentimental is too painful, take a photograph of the item as a keepsake, and then allow yourself to let it go. Do you have a favorite item in your closet that is simply gathering dust? What is the one piece you have been holding on to even though you haven't worn it in years? Share your experiences in the comments below. Letting go of old clothing not only makes your closet more functional, but also liberates you from the weight of the past, allowing you to embrace the present with greater clarity and joy. By decluttering your wardrobe, you are making room for new experiences and new memories that can be created with a lighter heart. It is also easy to accumulate an assortment of kitchen gadgets over the years, items that once seemed like brilliant ideas but have long since gathered dust in the back of a cupboard. Perhaps it is that bread maker you used only once, or the waffle iron that you bought during a moment of inspiration but have not used since. We have all been there. But when was the last time you actually used these gadgets? Reflect on this. How often do you reach for that old pasta maker or the juicer that has seen only a handful of uses? These unused gadgets not only occupy precious space in your kitchen, but they also contribute to the overall clutter, making it more challenging to find the tools you actually use on a daily basis. Moreover, excess items in a small space can become a safety hazard. Piles of unused gadgets can impede movement and increase the risk of tripping or falling, particularly in a kitchen environment. Go through your kitchen and take a careful inventory of all the gadgets you no longer use. If there is an item in your cabinet or drawer that hasn't been used in the past year, consider letting it go. Donate, sell, or recycle those items that no longer serve any practical purpose. The more you declutter, the easier it becomes to access the tools you truly love and use every day, resulting in a kitchen that feels more organized and safer. What is the one kitchen gadget that you have held on to despite never using it? Is there something in your kitchen that is simply collecting dust? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. By clearing out unused kitchen gadgets, you are not only freeing up space but also creating an environment that is safer and more functional for your daily life. It is time to let go of the clutter and to create a space where cooking and enjoying meals becomes a simple, enjoyable, and stress-free experience. As technology continues to evolve, so too do the gadgets we use. It is all too common to hold on to old electronics, a smartphone you upgraded years ago, an outdated tablet, or even a drawer filled with various cables and chargers that you never use. But have you ever taken a moment to consider just how much space these outdated electronics are taking up? Betty's journey of decluttering revealed a surprising trove of items, a drawer filled with old cables, phone chargers, and gadgets that she had completely forgotten about. Some of these items were so outdated that she could hardly remember their original purpose. She quickly realized that these unused items not only cluttered her physical space, but also occupied mental space, preventing her from enjoying the modern technology that truly served her needs today. Take a look around your home and gather any outdated electronics that no longer serve you, be they old phones, tablets, chargers, remote controls, or even outdated DVDs and VCRs that are simply gathering dust. Recycle these items responsibly by checking with local recycling centers that accept electronic waste, or find designated drop-off locations for electronics recycling. If some items are still in working condition, consider donating them to a local charity or organization that might benefit from them. Have you found any old electronics that you completely forgot about? What is the most surprising thing you have discovered while decluttering? Share your experiences in the comments. By letting go of outdated electronics, you are not only clearing physical space, but also creating room for modern devices that help you stay connected and live more efficiently. This small change can make a big difference in how organized and functional your home feels over time. Another area where clutter can creep in is extra furniture. It is easy to accumulate additional pieces, old chairs, side tables, decorative items, that once seemed like excellent ideas but now only contribute to a crowded space. Adding too much furniture can create unexpected problems, particularly in smaller living areas. Too much furniture is not only visually unappealing, but can also become a serious tripping hazard. Narrow pathways between pieces can make it difficult to move around safely, and in the event of a fall, navigating through an overcrowded room can be extremely dangerous for seniors. Safety is paramount, and creating open, clear pathways in your home can significantly reduce the risk of accidents. Survey your living areas and identify any pieces of furniture that are non-essential or that take up too much space. Consider removing items that are rarely used or that obstruct natural movement. Aim to create clear, unobstructed spaces that allow you to move freely from one room to another. A simple, minimalist layout with carefully chosen furniture can make your home feel more spacious, safer, and overall more comfortable. Have you ever tripped over an extra piece of furniture in your home? How have you worked to make your living space safer by reducing clutter? Let us know in the comments. By removing excess furniture, you are not only creating a more organized home, but also enhancing its safety and functionality. Often, less is truly more when it comes to designing a living space that supports your well-being. Books hold a special place in our hearts. They provide comfort, impart knowledge, and offer an escape into worlds both fantastical and real. Over the years, however, it is easy to accumulate a vast collection of books. Books that you intend to read someday, or that you cannot bear to part with because they remind you of a special time in your life. Yet, as time passes, these books can start to pile up, taking up space and adding yet another layer of clutter to your home. The truth is, holding on to books that you are unlikely to reread can feel like holding on to the past. These books once served an important purpose. They taught you something valuable, entertained you, or evoked cherished memories. But now they might simply be gathering dust on your shelves, occupying space that could be better used for items that bring you joy today. Instead of letting them sit idle, consider donating them to libraries, senior centers, or local charities. By passing these books on, you are giving them a new life and a new home, while also freeing up valuable space in your own environment. Take a moment to review your bookshelf and ask yourself whether you will ever read each book again. If the answer is no, it may be time to let it go. Donate the gently used books that are still in good condition, especially those that could benefit someone else. This simple act of sharing your beloved books can be both liberating and heartwarming. What is one book that you simply cannot bear to part with? Share your thoughts in the comments. Letting go of books you no longer need not only declutters your space, but also creates room for new experiences and memories, while allowing others to enjoy the stories that once enriched your life. Another significant source of clutter can be unused hobby supplies. Many of us have hobbies we once loved, whether it was painting, knitting, or gardening. Over the years, however, our interests may change, and we often find ourselves holding on to supplies for hobbies we no longer pursue. These unused items can accumulate in closets, drawers, or basements, taking up valuable space that could be better used for activities you are currently passionate about. When Betty began her decluttering process, she discovered an assortment of hobby supplies that had not been touched in years. There were knitting needles and balls of yarn, a half-finished painting that had long been abandoned, and even a collection of gardening tools that she had completely forgotten about. As she looked at these items, Betty realized that while they had once brought her immense joy, her interests had shifted over time, and holding on to them was no longer beneficial. Take a moment to assess your own collection of unused hobby supplies. Are there items you have held on to for activities that you no longer have the time or interest to pursue? Consider passing these supplies on to someone who might appreciate them: a friend, a family member, or a local community center or school. Donating these items not only helps you declutter your space, but also gives them a new life in the hands of someone who will truly use them. Have you discovered any unused hobby supplies while decluttering your space? What is one item that you just cannot bring yourself to part with? Share your thoughts in the comments. By letting go of unused hobby supplies, you free up space for new activities and interests that align with who you are today. Decluttering in this way can be incredibly freeing, as it allows you to make room for fresh passions while also sharing your unused items with someone in need. Decluttering your life is not only about clearing physical space, it is also about removing toxic relationships that burden your mental and emotional well-being. Just as a cluttered home can make you feel overwhelmed, toxic relationships can drain your energy and leave you feeling perpetually stressed. Whether it is a friend, a family member, or even a colleague, toxic relationships have a profound impact on our overall health, often causing increased stress and even physical symptoms such as headaches, fatigue, or high blood pressure. As we grow older, we come to realize that life is too short to spend time with people who do not support or uplift us. It is time to evaluate the relationships in your life and consider letting go of those that continuously bring negativity and drain your spirit. Ask yourself, are there individuals in your life who make you feel unappreciated or constantly stressed? If so, it may be time to distance yourself from these toxic connections. Focus your energy on cultivating relationships with those who inspire you, support your dreams, and contribute positively to your well-being. Surround yourself with individuals who encourage you to live your best life, and do not hesitate to set firm boundaries when necessary. Have you ever found it necessary to distance yourself from someone who was consistently draining your energy? How did you manage to set those boundaries? Share your experiences in the comments. Removing toxic relationships from your life is one of the most empowering forms of self-care you can practice, as it creates space for more positive, nurturing connections that allow you to flourish. Finally, let us address the emotional clutter of regret and guilt. While physical clutter is visible, the emotional burden of regret and guilt can be just as heavy, often weighing us down without our realizing it. Holding on to past mistakes, missed opportunities, or unresolved feelings of guilt can feel as if you are carrying an invisible load that limits your ability to move forward. But what if the most powerful act of decluttering you could perform was to release those negative emotions? Letting go of regret and guilt can be incredibly liberating. When you hold on to these painful emotions, you prevent yourself from fully embracing the present and the future. Betty, for example, took the courageous step of letting go of old regrets and guilt, and she described the emotional release as feeling as if she had lost 10 pounds emotionally. She came to understand that her past mistakes did not have to define her future, and that by forgiving herself, she could create space for peace and new possibilities. Betty's journey is a testament to the transformative power of emotional decluttering. Take a moment to reflect on the past. Consider whether there is a mistake or regret that you have been carrying with you for far too long. Practice self-compassion and allow yourself to forgive, understanding that making mistakes is an inevitable part of life. Releasing regret and guilt is not about forgetting what has happened. It is about freeing yourself from the burden of the past so that you can step forward with clarity and optimism. What is one thing from your past that you feel ready to release? Share your thoughts in the comments and allow yourself to experience the freedom that comes from letting go. Betty's journey of decluttering her life by addressing these 10 key areas: old medical supplies and equipment, paper clutter, clothing, unused kitchen gadgets, outdated electronics, extra furniture, books, unused hobby supplies, toxic relationships, and the emotional burdens of regret and guilt, has led her to experience a complete transformation. She now lives in a cleaner, more organized home and enjoys a renewed sense of joy and energy that had long eluded her. Decluttering is not merely about letting go of physical items. It is about creating space for what truly matters in life. When you remove the unnecessary and the outdated, you open up room for healthier habits, deeper connections, and a more vibrant state of being. Every small step you take in clearing away the clutter, whether it be physical or emotional, is a step toward a brighter, more fulfilling future. So what is the first thing you are going to declutter to start your own transformation? Is it an old pair of shoes you have not worn in years? Or perhaps a set of dishes that have not been used since the holidays? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join others who are taking this journey toward a clearer, more peaceful life. Start small and allow the transformation to begin with just one item at a time. Remember, Every item you let go of brings you closer to a life filled with less stress, more energy, and a renewed sense of purpose. If you found these tips helpful and inspiring, please hit the like button and share this video with a friend who might benefit from starting their own decluttering journey. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more life-changing advice and tips on living your best life after 60. Did you know that decluttering your life can make you feel more energized and happier, especially after 60? What if I told you that clearing out just 7 things before the new year could instantly boost your mood and overall well-being? Stay with me as we uncover what these 7 things are and how they can transform your life starting right now. You will feel lighter, happier, and more prepared to embrace the new year with a fresh, revitalized perspective. Meet Mary. She is 68 years old and, like so many of us, has spent years accumulating belongings, clothing, memories, and even obligations that slowly began to weigh her down. Mary is a kind, hardworking woman who has always put the needs of others before her own. Yet in recent times, it felt as though both her home and her mind were overflowing with too much. Too many possessions, too many responsibilities, and too much lingering negativity. Between caring for her family, managing her household, and keeping up with an increasingly busy schedule, Mary gradually found herself feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. Deep within her, she recognized that a change was necessary. With the new year fast approaching, Mary decided it was time to take a step back and re-examine her life. She realized that, in order to feel lighter, more energized, and truly happy, she needed to declutter. Not only her physical space, but her entire way of living. Thus, she began by making small, deliberate changes. She started slowly, bit by bit, tackling the things that had been causing her stress and anxiety, and the results were nothing short of incredible. Many of you may find yourselves relating to Mary's situation. Perhaps you have experienced the burden of having too much stuff, or perhaps you feel weighed down by too many commitments, or even by an overwhelming amount of negativity that seems to seep into every corner of your life. Maybe, like Mary, you've spent years racing from one responsibility to the next, constantly trying to keep up with everything, all the while neglecting your own well-being. You are not alone, and the good news is that it is never too late to make a positive change. By decluttering these 7 key areas of your life, you too can experience a transformation much like Mary did. Let us now explore these 7 aspects that, once addressed, can help you clear away the clutter and feel truly amazing before the new year arrives. Let us begin with the physical clutter, the tangible items that take up space in your home but no longer serve any purpose. Over the years, it is all too easy for possessions to accumulate. The old clothes you no longer wear, the outdated kitchen gadgets that have lost their functionality, and the myriad knickknacks that simply collect dust in forgotten corners. Although these items might appear insignificant when viewed individually, together they create an overwhelming atmosphere that can drain your energy and add to your sense of mental burden. When you take the time to declutter your physical surroundings, the change in your environment has an immediate and powerful effect on your mental and emotional state. For Mary, one of the largest sources of physical clutter was her closet. Over time, she had gathered countless articles of clothing that no longer fit her, were out of style, or simply no longer sparked joy. Every time she opened her closet, the weight of those unused items seemed to press down on her, not merely as physical clutter, but as an emblem of the mental chaos that had accumulated over the years. Determined to reclaim her space and restore her peace of mind, Mary resolved to tackle her closet head-on. She dedicated an entire weekend to carefully sorting through every piece of clothing, pausing to ask herself, when was the last time I wore this? And does it still make me feel good? Anything that did not meet her criteria was either donated or given away to friends and family. Although the process was emotionally challenging at first, because parting with items that once held significance can be painful, the act of sorting and removing these items allowed Mary to experience a gradual but profound sense of liberation. As she let go of the items that no longer served her, her closet transformed into a tidy open space, and she began to realize that when you discard what burdens you, you also make room for new energy, new experiences, and a renewed sense of possibility. Now, consider your own living space. Are there clothes you never wear? Items that you have held on to far longer than they serve any purpose? or possessions that remind you of past chapters you no longer wish to revisit? When we rid ourselves of physical clutter, we are not simply tidying up our homes. We are also shedding mental and emotional baggage.